To be mentored or tutored by one of the greatest minds in engineering in Africa, we're all bound to make some mistakes. And that's what the story of our guest on this week's edition of The Untold here on GhanaWeb TV will teach us. The story of Fiavi Kweku Mauto is one that would inspire you. Also, here is a catch. This young man, beyond all his creativity, learnt none of this from the classroom, a naturally born creative. Welcome once again to this week's edition of The Untold here on GhanaWeb TV. Let's bring you all of the details right after this. Born an Ewe, Promise starts off his story by telling us how it is that he was raised as an Asante.
My name is Fiavi Kweku Mauto. Other people call me Promise based on how I was born. So basically my dad is an Ewe. By blood I'm an Ewe, but I was raised by an Asante man. So I was being adopted into the Asante family. So my dad and my mom are alive. I have 6 siblings. They are all alive. So we were all living in Accra. I was born in Nansuma, DC. So my youngest brother, that was our last born, that is Kwame Safo. Because of him, I'm here today.
To be named Promise was not just mere coincidence or chance, and he shares the fine details.
When my parents was about to give birth to me, there was a prophecy. That is why I'm called Promise. So after I was giving birth, the man asked them to bring me to him when I'm old enough. So after I completed JSS, they brought me here, and I couldn't continue schooling because the man saw something in me and he wanted to grow me up.
But very soon in his life, he learned the hard way on giving up on certain dreams to be able to achieve other greater ones.
Initially, I wanted to be a footballer. I love football so much, so I wanted to be a footballer. But when I came, he was like, no, that is not my path. I need to focus on what is in me. So when I came, I was fixed to a certain portion into the company, that is the pattern making department. What we do is we produce any given artifact that is being given to us, which is being forwarded for foundry, that is casting. So basically I was taught how to manipulate or duplicate any given artifact, and that will be forward for casting.
Doing art for the last 12 years, Promise says his biggest trick has been learning the skill of being observant rather than being engulfed in a lot of youthful exuberances.
It's been 12 years now since I've been here, and it's all about work. Because of that, I was taught how to observe things, not to get involved in any activities, that is parties, friendship, so many things. What I do is focus on the work, what I can do for myself, and what is given to me, how I can grow on it and then inspire the world. So through there, I realized I have this strong ability. I have this strong imaginative ability. Whatever I set my eyes on, or whatever I picture, I can then bring to reality. So from there, I began to sculpt things out. So whatever I get, any material that I find, I just try to do something with it, create something with it, whatever is inside here. So that is what I've been doing.
He lost friends because work became his only friend. But he admits this also allowed him to explore a lot of his creativity.
At first, I was really having fun with it. I wasn't thinking about the business aspect or the money aspect. It was just fun, because that was the only thing that I have. I don't have friends. I don't have friends though. So the only friends that I have was my work and what I can do. So as times goes on, people will see them and will be like, wow, hey, where's Car? But I'm not much concerned about the money though. I'm much concerned about what I can do, how people get inspired or how people get happy when they see the work. So that was what was happening till, I think that was 2 years ago, when he was like, yo, what you do, there's money in it, so okay, you will not go, but you'll be here and I will then get your company for you. Then you can be within the company and do whatever you want.
Of Apostle Kwejo Safo, Promise came to learn another difficult life lesson, that not everyone needs to be schooled formally to attain certain heights in their lives.
So what I'm talking about, I'm talking about Apostle Dr. Kwejo Safo. He was the one who adopted me into his family. And then he is the one who has been taking care of me since my childhood. And he's the more reason why I didn't attend or continue education there. Because he felt like to be doing what I wanted to do. Because all my life, I just feel like being myself. I'm the reserved type. I want to do things my own way. I don't want to do things the way regular thing. No, I just want to take my own path, face the challenges, and then create something out of it. That is me. So when he saw that in me, he do this in life. That is what you have to do.
Does he consider his upbringing a challenging one? Promise thinks otherwise, because he says he has come to an
capital U. So he tells me, you came here, you came on this earth for a purpose. So you should find out your sole purpose and then know how to work around it. That is the reason why he came here. So when he told me that, okay, at first I wasn't getting it clear, because I was like, yo, we should have fun. But he was like, it's not about fun. We are not here because of fun. We are here to, what I always remember is he always say like, life is all about you, capital U, how you make it. So whatever you do should be, you shouldn't do something that will affect the third party, sorry. So it should always be like, you have to be a stepping stone to inspire other people. So that is what keeps me going most of the time. But just that when you're taking this path, it takes you away from so many things. That certain ingredient that will speed you up or spice you up. Yeah, someone who can lead you in life. For me, I'm lucky. Even though I have not furthered my education that far, I had a good teacher, someone who knew the path, someone who was able to push me along the way. Man, for this place. Sometimes it got to a time. Sometimes Apostle will just. It's good for you to make mistakes in life. It makes you hard. I'm not a materialistic guy. That is okay. I was being tamed to. So I'm not moved by materials. I'm moved by what I can do. I want to be the reason why someone sees me and be like, wow, I can do it. Wow, hey, this guy was able to do it. Yes, I want to solve people's problems. So I just look at the problem
as he is. Promise confesses that there was a point in his life where he felt a great aura of loneliness around himself.
It got to a time I was very lonely, because Apostle wouldn't let you go out, no phone, no parties, nothing. It's all about work 24/7. So it got to the I don't have past mates like schoolmates, best friends, those kind of things. So it got to the I realized I was sinking. So the only place I can talk, and I don't like talking much, so I talk through my artworks. That is where I discover I can do things with my arms. So what I want to say, I'll just put it through my artworks. So some artworks talks about gratitude. For instance, it got to a time that I wanted to set up people who were close to me, thinking human beings, you can never predict human being. Humans we are we are something else.
Promise believes that being an introvert, this has helped him to master the ability of being patient, a trait that has helped him perform better at his craft.
When they let me down, the grief and how I was in poverty, when I couldn't explore, I couldn't bring out what I was meant to do, then I created the Escape from Purgatory. I printed that one into the art piece. Yeah. So when I got to understand nature, that there's life in everything, I created the other piece behind you. So that is what I used to do. Instead of me talking, voicing my feelings out, I implement into my artwork, so that what we have right now, at the end of the day, I learn something, you also learn something. So practically, if I'm able to open up, basically I'm going to learn something out of it. I most of the time keep mute and observe things, but your work can talk for you. So
what has been your most challenging thing in life? That was my next question to him.
Most challenging, there are a lot though. Ups and downs in life. Since I was being tamed from the outside world, even though I'm in Ghana, I always say here is not Ghana, because the kind of system here is different from outside there. So the most challenging thing is, one, I do feel like I'm behind time. I'm not able to cope with other beings outside. I'm talking about other people outside. As I almost speed you up, I'm a kind of a bit slow. That is one. And two, how to sell my things out, how to sell myself. I always want my work to talk for me, rather than me selling myself like, yo, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. And the third, the most challenging is, even though I'm living with money, it's hard for you to get the money. I know if you are getting me. Even though I know if I go to that, I want to do this, then I'm going to get it. You will not get it that simple compared to other people who might get it simple, because he wants you to know how to value what you have right now.
Regrets? Let's hear what he has to say.
I love what I do, and I love who I've become. The little regrets I will say I have is, even that one quite minor. It's I don't have friends. Yeah, personally, but when publicly, maybe I would say, apart from say the system, it's natural, like it's normal. The system is not working effectively to support whatever we want to do.
On display in Promise's little studio are a number of art pieces with many depths, but he breaks them down for us. He also shows us what his perfect piece is.
Growing up, I got to understand life. Life isn't easy as it is. So when I came to understand life, I got to realize there are a lot, when we talk about life, there are a lot into it. Life wasn't programmed to be easy the way it should be. It's a puzzle that one needs to fix. I'm talking about your soul script, the purpose. If you're able to fish out the purpose of you, the reason why you are on this earth. So most of my art pieces here are based on life philosophy and life itself. So talking about this, but most of them are not done completely, maybe 80 to 75%. So talking about this talks about hear evil, don't hear evil, speak no evil, view no evil. So that is this. This talks about our democracy, our system, talking about the country we live inside here. Democracy is, let me say, a little bit messed up, because I know democracy is a system that is not used to govern a country, because it's a freedom of justice or whatever it is. So everyone is entitled to do whatever it is, even if it's going to help or not help the country. But we have original born leaders who were drafted or brought to this earth to govern our country. So talking about other countries, they have people who are picked to govern a country, not the public. So this can ever talk about chieftaincy. They are original born with it to be a leader. We are not picked like a mandatory system. So this one talks about democracy. This one talks about the brain, the key to life. Your whole being, everything depends on your mind. For you to be successful, for you to be poor, whatever it is, it's all based on your mind. So if you're able to master your mindset over your emotion, you can make it in life. This one talks about blacks. Blacks is beauty. Talking about acts, it's we blacks. The way we talk, the way our culture, our food, our dress, everything. So black is golden. This one talks about a philosophy in life, the struggle in life. You can see the hand is penetrating through the rocks. So in life, when you are determined, focused, and you have aim, you can penetrate through any struggle in life. So you can see the blood rectifying whatever it is. This one talks about our country, Ghana. I'm not done though. I'm not done. This one talks about it projects the number of resources we have in Ghana, and and the second one here talks about the other way around. We have been all the resources, but still Ghana is still not having its original pay. This one too talks. This is my perfect piece. This talks about a broken portal. We have ups and downs in our life. Humans sometimes makes us shifts from our main core. So talking about a broken portal, we all have our inner God that talks to us, that directs us. We are God in our own image when it comes to this earth. This planet, we are God. We are God. So when your portal is complete, that is where you are able to communicate with your inner God. But if it is broken due to the ups and downs in life, that is when you are not able to communicate with your inner God. So you do whatever will serve you right, not your rightful purpose. So this is a broken portal. So talking about this is I think the bigger of this section, and this one talks about blacks and its slavery. So you can see the hand depicting the white man and the black skin depicting we blacks, as here how the white has enslaved us by being enlightened with the truth of the originality of we the blacks. Okay. Sure. This one I was being inspired by a movie that was Thor. So I was being inspired but the original concept was to be upside down. That is to project Okonfa-Noche knife, the one that he used to. He is a god, so that is the initial idea for this. This one talks about the power of the tongue. How powerful our tongue is. How you should be very mindful of what you say, because that might work. It not might work, it will work. The powerful of the tongue. So the gesture of the thing it projects when you are in the other side, that is when you are in the bad side, you should know of what you say, so that you know the effect of what it might bring. This one talks about social media, how people are living other fake life. So you can see the gesture inside, the person is in pains, but if we are able to turn the social media to educate ourselves, we projecting the raw and unfiltered situation in our community to solve other problems and even to motivate other problems. That will be more better than we projecting the life of let me say a fake life. You can see people projecting money and stuff, which is making other people feel like I'm not catching our problem. So if we can be real to ourselves, okay, that one will help. So this one talks about the social media aspect. This one is my favorite piece that talks about the old gods. We have gods in our midst. So we are God who takes a form of humans, but within they are living gods. So like talking about Kwame Nkrumah, Konfanoche, there are so many gods that came to Ghana. They have invaded Ghana. So this one talks about those pieces. So with the wooden the plaques aspect, luckily we've worked with most people like TV3, TV Africa, TV3, that is Talented Kids, and then Ghana Most Beautiful, TV Africa, that was Amazing Child. We worked with Jima, we work with Spotlight, most of them. We've worked with Ghana Rising Star. We've worked with most people that I can even count off here. So and then GhanaWeb Excellency Award as well too. So we've worked with so many people that I can't even count off here. Sure. I have in the spring department, we have the construction. Okay, so I have roughly 20 to 25 workers. Talking about my company, it's a segmental company. So there are various segments within it. So with the arts section, that is my outlet piece, so I do them alone. But when it comes to the plaques, I have the spraying department that takes care of that one. So I have 2 spraying guys, and then with the plaques section, I have 5 workers. When it comes to the construction, which my big sis is heading, he's like an architectural drawing. So he and she and the workers, that is almost like 15 workers so far. Yeah. So the other department, that is the wooden, we do indoors decorations, then sofas, then stuff. So that aspect too, we have workers. So it's a segment where each segment has its own workers. Unlike this part that I do alone, the other part we have workers over there who do work there. Okay, so basically these art pieces are not for sale. The initial idea was to educate Ghanaians on the value of the art piece, because looking at the other countries, artworks do really sell, but here we don't patronize artworks. Obi ba so to make us abodiaba, hey, abodiaba. But when the white guys come here, they'll be like, wow, that is money. So okay, so I realized that it's the perception. They don't really understand the worth of the artwork. So okay, I'm going to use this to educate my fellow Ghanaians. So be like, oh, this is they should know the reason why we draft something like this. These are written knowledge that has been encrypted into the art piece that need to be decoded. So that is what for the arts aspect. Even though looking at our previous and the future, we're just praying that a time will come that our people will get the value or the perception, that perception of the low valueness of the art piece will vanish, and then they'll also embrace the importance or the worth of our art piece. Because blacks, we're talking about artworks, it's we blacks. We are the definition of blacks.
Young as he is, Promise believes the country can do better for the creative arts industry, and this is how.
We, the youngest artists in Ghana, wouldn't travel from here to other countries to go and then improve that country. But we want to be here to be able to improve our mother Ghana as well. So any positive person out there who would love to support the movement of the creative industry, they should really help, and then so that we can also project whatever we have inwardly to, so that the next generation who will come after us will also have a path to step on or pass through.
This story of promise truly begs the question about the kind of concentration and attention we give to the creative arts industry. But we hope that you've been truly inspired, as we always do here on The Untold, here on GhanaWeb TV, with me, Eche Atisu. Remember, there is news for you when you log on to www.ghanaweb.com. And as always, be kind to one another.
Hello there, and welcome to the launch of the GhanaWeb Excellence Awards Youth Edition. My name is Ismail Akwe, the Editor-in-Chief of Africa Web. It's that time of the year again. Last year, you, the audience of GhanaWeb, nominated several personalities in various sectors for various categories of the GhanaWeb Excellence. Welcome to the Lowdown on GhanaWeb TV. This is the most interactive socio-political program you can find online. We bring you facts and updates on issues that matter to you. My name is Ismail Akwe, and in this edition, we are going to discuss tourism. The tourism industry has been very vibrant lately. We had Kwewu Easter celebrations and also other celebrations all over the country. We are going to discuss how the tourism industry can help build up or even bring in more revenue into our economy. Our guest is from the Ghana Tourism Authority, who will be doing this discussion with us. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back from the break. This is the Lowdown on GhanaWeb TV. Our guest is Kofi Atakakra Kusi. He is the Deputy Head of Corporate Affairs at the Ghana Tourism Authority. Welcome, Kofi.
Thank you, my brother.
I know you have been very busy this past week.
Very, very busy.
Kwewu Easter has been a great success.
Absolutely.
And how did it go? How did you prepare? How did you plan? How did you manage to bring all the pilots and all of them?
I won't cut you up. It's about product development, right? Kwewu Easter has been developed over time, and this is a time for us to reap the benefit out of it. before I continue, let me give a big greetings to the Honorable Minister for Tourism, Honorable Dr. Ibrahim Awa Mohammed, and his deputy, Honorable Mark Okrikumante. I'm not forgetting my chief executive, Mr. Kwesi Ajiman, and the currently appointed board chairman of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Honorable Seth Ejeba. Bro, you see, Kwewu has been a test case as we moved swiftly from COVID restrictions. As the president, His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, lifted the restrictions just about a month or 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. You realize that we launched the Kwewu Easter celebrations sometime on the 16th of March. And since that time, the euphoria has been of a kind. Bro, you see, what has been the case is that we have been very much particular about domestic tourism, trying to improve our domestic setting. When COVID struck, you do recall that the global community, we could not travel to anyone's country. So obviously, what it means is that we have to do our own well. In the account balance, they say, so we are to make sure that ours has been made proper before looking at the other countries and all that. So basically what the authority does is to market the country domestically and internationally. So if you look at Kwewu, as in Kwewu Easter celebrations, it's been back to back. We had a number of activities and events that took place there. If you look at the events and activities, one has to do mainly the paragliding festival, which of course brings a lot of diasporans and people of African descent into the country, and then international tourists from all over the globe. They are all here. Also, we have musical concerts, we have pool parties, we have a lot of activities took place. You have carnivals, street carnivals, masquerade festival, and all that.
We saw all of them,
yes,
because you're doing so well with communication.
Absolutely.
But how long did it take you to plan the Kwewu Easter Festival?
Yes, as a matter of fact, like I said, it's about product development. So even in the time of the restrictions, the authority under the leadership of Mr. Kwesi Ajiman was working assiduously behind the scenes, making sure that we were cementing all the loose holes in order to make sure that we get a clear picture of how it will look like. So our marketing actually started in the time of COVID. During the restrictions, we were working assiduously behind the scenes. Of course, what the authority has a research department, and the research department way back sometime last year even undertook what we call a farm tour to Kwewu and its environs in order to do a farm tour of the entire enclave. So that is exactly what we did, and this is the results.
Did you have any data as to the number of people who were present at Kwewu?
Good. This is a very good question. Let me commend you for this. Research is very key to any industry. Like it is, the Ghana Tourism Authority has been very strong when it comes to our research. So we have a whole directorate in charge of research. Our research department was stationed in Kwewu during the festivities. They have always been there. So always we generate a tourism report that gives you a report of what our event and activities was like. But of course, you know that we just came from Kwewu. So the research department is still working assiduously in order to generate the needed reports so that we could be able to feed the teeming public. And in as much as that be the case, of course, the Honorable Minister has indicated, Honorable Dr. Ibrahim Awa Mohammed had indicated early on that we are looking at raking in close to about annually, we are looking at raking in close to about $2.3 billion into the economy.
$2.3 billion annually.
An
estimate.
In estimate.
Okay. So is Kwewu Easter going to be a regular event? I know Easter is annual. However, the other activities like the paragliding and then the others, which are done annually, during Easter period, there are so many calls for it to be done, I mean, regularly, like maybe every month there should be something around paragliding. Is this something you're going to consider? Have you thought about it?
Good, my brother. You've asked a very good question once again. I think I must commend GhanaWeb for your line of questions. It's very good. The CEO, my CEO had indicated early on during interviews with the media, he had indicated that because we are trying to entrench our domestic setting in terms of our domestic tourism, trying to improve our domestic tourism, what the Ghana Tourism Authority will be doing is that as part of the pilots, obviously, let me say this again. The pilot, we had pilots from Peru, Switzerland, USA, and then Germany. And then there was one Ghanaian pilot. What the authority is doing moving forward is to get a number of Ghanaian pilots to fly so that we would not depend on the white man. I am a Pan-Africanist personally, and I believe in we making our own better. In making our own better, we do not need the white man to be there for us. We have to develop our own. That is why Jonathan used to be a solo pilot.
So Jonathan is a Ghanaian pilot?
He's a Ghanaian pilot.
Okay.
Jonathan
He was the only Ghanaian one?
The only Ghanaian
Jonathan
pilot.
Quay.
Jonathan Quay.
Okay.
He's a solo pilot. And then the others are, and then there are others who are also tandem pilots. What it means is that when someone is a solo pilot, the person flies alone.
Okay.
Then you graduate to become a tandem pilot. Fortunately enough, now Jonathan Quay is a tandem pilot. For years, he's been a solo pilot. He was training, and by the grace of God, he's now a tandem pilot. There is a certifying agency that looks at paragliders. So
in Ghana?
Yes, not in Ghana,
okay,
but outside there.
Or was he training under the auspices of the Ghana Tourism Authority, or he was independent?
Yes, we were part of the push.
Okay.
Yes, the Tourism Authority was part of the push. The Ministry of Tourism also part of the push. So that is why the Chief Executive had indicated, Mr. Kwesi Agyeman, had indicated that moving forward, the Tourism Authority is looking at having local pilots, local content. Local content is very important in order to improve our tourism industry. So we are also looking at private investors coming in to invest in the paragliding sport as an aviation sport and other various events and activities that we have in the country.
So are there any other Ghanaian pilots under training, tandem pilots?
As at the moment, there are others who are also undergoing training, as CEO had indicated. But at the right time, we're going to make it public for Ghanaians to know exactly who they are, what they are, and then also we are trying to. There's a training pitch that is being looked at in the near future, so that they could have that uniform training.
So until we get a number of Ghanaian pilots, we can't have paragliding every month or any other time.
Good. So that is our target.
Okay.
Our target is that once we have the local pilots, obviously we are expected to fly each, maybe every holiday. Yeah, maybe Independence Day. My brother, you go with your family and then your daughter or son wants to fly. Why not? Yeah. So they would have to probably do some bookings beforehand, before getting there. Then they go through the process and then paraglide. So we are looking at each over the year round. Over the year round, we should be able to have paragliding.
So let's talk about domestic tourism. Now we've seen the Accra City Tour. Is there a Kumasi City Tour?
Yes, that will be coming.
That will be coming. So it's just Accra for now.
Accra City Tour.
And I see a lot of people showing excitement and joining the tours and all of that. How did that idea come up? Good,
my brother. Thank you. You've asked a very good question. You see, tourism is a private sector driven sector. What it is that we as an authority, we are to engage our private sector strongly in order for them to be on board. They coming on board, they bring a lot of ideas, a lot of things that they bring on board. For example, in bringing up about the idea of the Accra City Tour, we had to engage our private sector, which of course we call them the Ghana Tourism Federation, GHATOF. Okay. We call them Ghana Tourism Federation, GHATOF, GHATOF, GHATOF. So what GHATOF does is that it has umbrella associations. Okay. It has trade associations under it. So GHATOF is the umbrella body, and you have the association, trade associations. The trade associations include the Tour Operators Union of Ghana, the Car Renters Association of Ghana, the Ghana Hotels Association, you have the Tour Guides Association, you have the Kids in Tourism, you have the Tourism Society of Ghana. So all these Cow Club, all these associations, about 33 associations under the private sector, our tourism private sector. We call them the tourism value chain. Okay. So they are specifically those who make sure that the tourism, the engine of the tourism industry runs. How do we run? The tour operator is more or less a segregator. They segregate their activities. If I say the tour operator segregates its activities, what it does is that if the tour operator picks up a tour from, for example, the airport, okay, obviously the tourist is going to sleep, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So the hotels would have their share. Do you get it? The tour guide will come in. The tour guide would have to give, how do we call it, directions. This is Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum. This is that. This is that. This is Brick Gardens. This is what it is. This is what it is. So each and everyone, the car renter will bring their cars. Do you understand? So it means that at any point in time when the tour operator moves, he moves with some part of the tourism value chain. So the Ghana Hotels Association comes in. The car rentals comes in, the tour guides comes in. If they are kids, the Kids in Tourism comes in. If they are the youth, we have the Tourism Society of Ghana. So it is a whole gamut in itself.
So the Accra City Tour is a private, it's a private idea, basically, from the private sector.
Good. It is something that, I must say that it is more or less a PPP thing. Okay. Public-private partnership, okay, which of course the Tourism Authority is leading the face. You know, in recent times we've had about 2 public-private partnership forums which has taken place. What we do is to engage our private sector more often, so that our private sector is the engine of our sector. So we engage them more often, more especially as part of the Accra City Tour. We have the Tour Operators Union. We have an MOU with the Tour Operators Union of Ghana, which of course the tours are expected to also extend to the various regions. Like you mentioned, is Kumasi going to get their share? Moving on, in the near future, we are expecting to have this tour also move to the various regions of the country.
So it costs about, is it 60 cedis or 80 cedis to have a tour for an adult?
Yes.
And then for a child, it's about 35 or
Absolutely.
so, and then 20 for students or something
Absolutely.
like that.
Absolutely.
I think that's the cheapest tour anyone can get, the cheapest, because from there, if you want to go to Akosombo, you can't have anything less than 300 cedis.
That's it.
Is the authority looking at the cost, the price of some of these tours that people have to embark on? Because we want to promote domestic tourism as well.
Good, bro. As a matter of fact, the tour operators, in as much as we signed the MOU, let me put it across before I go on to that. This domestic tourism campaign, which we call Experience Ghana, Share Ghana campaign, the campaign was launched by His Excellency on the 1st of June in 2020, in 2021. And since it was launched, we've had an increase in our domestic tourism. If initially during the time of COVID, in 2019, before COVID, we had a boom in domestic tourism, about 600,000, right? And then in 2020, 2021, we had limited numbers. It came down to 200,000 and 300,000. Now we are climbing steadily to at par with the 600,000 that we had in 2019. So we can confidently say that since we launched the Experience Ghana, Share Ghana domestic tourism campaign as part of our See Ghana, Eat Ghana, and Wear Ghana, Feel Ghana campaign, we have seen significant boost in our domestic tourism. Let me come back to your question. What the authority has done is that as part of the MOU with the Tour Operators Union of Ghana, we have been able to get them to be able to have packages, rebate packages. I wish the tour operators were here to give their view on this, so that you can have their view also in respect of what they have done with the Hotels Association also. Now, the various tourism value chain are speaking with each other, are having a stakeholders conference, a stakeholders forum, where the tour guides are involved, the hotels association are involved, the GTA is involved, the travel agents are involved, the tour operators are involved, the tour guides. So all of us are involved. What it means is that we have been able to come to a conclusion where rebates for various tours have been given. Let's say let's say a tour guide is picking a tour to Akosombo, like you mentioned. Maybe it cost about, let's say, 100 Ghana. Okay. Because of the discussions, it will probably drop to 50 Ghana or even 40 Ghana. Do you get it? Yes. So these are the discussions that have gone on and are still ongoing with the Hotels Association, the tour operators, the tour guides, and a host of our tourism value chain. So in order for Ghanaians to have a holistic experience of our domestic tourism, these are some of the measures that have been put in place by the ministry and the Ghana Tourism Authority.
It needs to go down because the country is hard.
Very well.
And people must go out there and see what we have in the country.
Absolutely,
We'll
bro.
soon talk about toilets on our roads.
Yeah.
Because when you're going for tourism, definitely you need toilets on the road. And it's hard to find them. But I'm sure you tell us something about that. We'll be right back after this break. This is The Lowdown on GhanaWeb TV. Welcome back from the break. This is The Lowdown on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Ismail Akwe. Our guest is Kofi Atakakra Kusi. He is the Deputy Head of Corporate Affairs at the Ghana Tourism Authority. We're talking about Kwewu Easter, we're talking about domestic tourism. But before we even talk about the public toilets on our roads, let's just go a little bit back to the Kwewu Easter celebration that was just held. What were some of the challenges that you faced as an authority?
Good. We had a very successful event, and I would say that one of our major challenge, of course, it's been a major challenge, because if I say a major challenge, what I mean is that we had close to about over 400 people registering to fly the paragliding. A lot of people registered because a lot of thinking, a lot of marketing, a lot of PR went into we expecting people to come and register to fly. And the major challenge had to do with the weather.
Okay. You
do recall when I was giving my submissions, I indicated that we have various local organizing committees that we work with. We work with the Kwewu East, Kwewu West, Kwewu South district assemblies. We worked also with the Ministry of Health, the Ghana Health Service, the military service, the police service, the Ghana Meteorological Services. So one major challenge at the paragliding site was the weather. The weather was not favorable at all. So you could see that the numbers that we were able to fly dropped. We flew close to about 194 flights, and then out of the 194 we had 188 tandem pilots and then flying, and then 6 solo pilots. We were expecting to fly almost everyone, but that notwithstanding, what the authority has put in place is that, we have this corporate paragliding festival which we usually do in September. September, it's usually the tourism month. So in September, our chief executive has indicated that corporate paragliding festival would be held, and that those who couldn't fly obviously would have the opportunity to fly. So our major challenge had to do.
So no refunds?
What is happening is that we are having a post-mortem. Obviously their monies are not locked up. Okay. They are still with us, and that would we are still having a post-mortem, and that's post-mortem we would know how to communicate back to the
Because some of
revelers.
them are not from here.
Yes, some
they
are.
would believe in. So, you know.
Exactly, my brother. And one thing also is that, you know, because Ghana has been sold out there so well. You do recall when the president visited London, there was a launch of Destination Ghana. Yeah. That launch is to showcase Ghana back to the world after the restrictions have been lifted. And what it means is that Ghana is absolutely ready, open and ready to receive our foreigners, our tourists, people of African descent, our diasporans. So, bro, if you asked with the question where you are saying that some would have to go and come back, of course, we have sold Ghana to the world to understand that they even want to go and come back again. Yes. So, in as much as they have not been able to fly, they would want to go back, go and come back. Already they were here. They have experienced our culture, our heritage, our adventure, our history, our customs, our traditions, and as part of that, they have been able to inculcate themselves in the Ghanaian setting as part of our Experience Ghana, Share Ghana agenda. So obviously, they even want to come back. So they would definitely come back for the Corporate Paragliding Festival.
And the other challenges?
Yes, the other challenges had to do with the various events that went on. Those, I would say, were not challenges, but they were goodwill. We had a number of people at the various events and activities that took place, and that also there were the various tourist sites and attractions. The other challenges also had to do with the tourist sites and attractions. Of course, some of these tourist sites and attractions are the Tourism Authority and the Ministry is looking at bringing them to that global standard. Yes, there are various tourist sites and attractions in the Kwewu Enclave. So in 2019, there was an LI 2393, which was passed by Parliament, Tourist Sites and Attractions Regulations. And that regulations is giving the Tourism Authority a lot of support in order to be able to regulate the activities at the tourist sites and attractions. So you look at the paragliding site, the road to the center was being fixed. As we were there, you could see that the road was still under construction. Those are some of the challenges. But of course, it wasn't too much of a challenge because it was easily motorable. Some of the tourist sites also had some challenges with the roads, which are also being fixed. Some of them would have also been earmarked to be fixed as part of the LI 2393 tourist sites and attraction regulations.
Was that an overflow at Kwewu?
Bro, there was a huge overflow.
Is there any possibility of managing the number of people who could attend such a festival if indeed we can't take in everybody?
Indeed, we can take. We are possible to take almost everyone. All the hotels were full, brother. Yeah. Yes, all the hotels, the guest houses, there were a lot of people, and the traffic. Let me commend the Ghana Police Service. Right. We thought it would have been a challenge, but Dr. Dampare and his men really were up to the game. Yes, you could see the traffic flow was just so excellent. You could see how they brought a certain motorcycle, which of course they call it police visibility. Yeah. It was really on point, advantage point, making sure that traffic flow was really on point. So let me commend once again the police administration for the support to the industry. And the tourism industry is a multi-sectoral industry, and we cut across various sectors of the economy. So the security services, the meteorological services, the health services, the military service, all of them did a great job, and it minimized some of the challenges that we thought could have been the case. For example, hitherto, at some point in time, some of the hotels also had some challenges, right? But in recent times when we went, we didn't find those challenges there. Like some of the hotels were not keeping their places well, but we sensitized them for them to make sure that we made them aware of the fact that because of the advent of COVID, we have to be very careful and ensure that the right things are done at the various hotels and various tourism establishments in order for us to have a holistic celebration. So, bro, if you ask, it was a very wonderful
Security
experience.
was good?
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah. So now let's go back to our domestic tourism discussion, where there's distance between some tourist sites and also some towns. So let's say someone from Accra wants to go to maybe the central part of Ghana, Ashanti region. You can count the number of washrooms you could use on the roads. And we had an interview with the MPA, and they are saying it's under their jurisdiction to make sure that every fuel station has a washroom because it's mandatory per law. However, we still have inadequate washrooms. Is this something that's of concern to the authority?
Yes, you see, sanitation is very key, right? You do not expect that people would do anything anyhow across the roads as they are applying. As people apply the roads, we don't expect them to do anything anyhow. So what the authority has done is that the authority, there is a multi-sectorial committee, right, which we call, there is also an interministerial committee where we have the various top men deal at that level. So this has come to our information, and it has been relayed to the committee. The committee is working assiduously on it. I'm happy that you mentioned NP. I do recall during the time of Tampuli, Hassan Tampuli, Honorable Hassan Tampuli, he's now the MP for Gushegu. I do recall during his time we had an extensive meeting on that, because we've realized that when tours are moving to various tourist sites and attractions, they usually stop at the filling stations. So we had more or less multi-sectorial committee meeting where the NPO was also involved, and then we made sure that our grievances are known, and then also the authority is also looking at how to push the tourism development fund. You know, we have a tourism development fund which is paid 1% from all the patrons who visit the various tourism establishments. So the authority is also looking at also pushing more in terms of looking at the washrooms along the roads to the various tourist sites and attractions, and also the tourism establishments.
Now, when we come to the tour companies or some of the tour organizations that we have, are they all regulated? And are they supposed to be regulated or licensed by the tourism authority?
Thank you. That's a very good question. Good. That is where the tourism authority's work comes to fore. We are mandated by law to register tourism establishment. If I say we are mandated by law to register this establishment, what it means is that the tour operators are licensed by the Ghana Tourism Authority, the hotels are licensed by us, the travel and tour agencies, the pubs, the restaurants. What is it is that the Ghana Tourism Authority has a whole directorate. We call it Standards and Quality Assurance Directorate Department. The department ensures that all these tourism value chain establishments are registered and licensed by the authority. That is why if the authority wants to embark on a city tour, we will deal with the tour operators. The tour operators are all licensed by the authority. So on this note, I would urge all travel and tour agencies and tour operators to register also with the authority, and also register with the tour operators in order to make sure that your activities are regulated accordingly. Anytime you go by the laid down rules and procedures, your activities obviously are regulated appropriately. So like you asked, we make sure that we regulate all these tourism establishments.
So are we talking about all hotels, all of them, or there are some specific or particular hotels that are supposed to be getting licenses from the authority?
All hotels are expected to be licensed by the authority. Obviously, we have some recalcitrant ones who are in there. Of course, we call on them to come to the authority. As a matter of fact, we have regional offices across the length and breadth of this country. So if you go to Western Region, we have our Western Regional Manager there. You can go there, and then you would have access to the office and then register. So all hotels from 1 star to 5 star, everybody, and then guest houses.
Okay.
And then we have some motels. The motels are along the road. Yeah, so all of them are expected to register and then be licensed by the authority. If you are not licensed by the authority has the mandate to close you down appropriately.
Have you gone after anyone before?
Yes, we have. Even in Kwahu, a lot happened there. A week before the Kwahu Easter Paragliding Festival and a week before the Easter celebrations in there, what the authority did was that our Eastern Regional Manager, Frederick A.J. Rudolph, had to visit various hotels across the length and breadth of Kwahu and the Eastern region. A lot of hotels were closed down.
Closed down?
Yes, they were, and the standards that have been set by the authority. Yes. So, and any time when the authority embarks on these, we call it enforcement exercise. When the authority embarks on the enforcement exercise, what happens is that we always ensure that the right things are done. So we embark on it with the Ghana Police Service. They are always with us in order to ensure safety and security.
You mentioned pubs and also bars. Are they also supposed to?
They are all under the Ghana Tourism Authority, yes.
And they are all mandated?
They are all
of them?
mandated, yes.
There are so many of them in every corner.
Exactly, my brother. So, my brother, when you go to any pub, when you go to any hotel, look out for the Ghana Tourism Authority line signs before probably you sleep there, so that just in case something happens, if something happens and they are not registered, then you what we did was that most of the licensed hotels are in this guide. So if you are not
very much so, this is quite very nice copy. Is it going to be in every hotel? Is it going to be in our flights?
Good.
Where can we find them?
Good. What is it is that a lot were given out in Kwahu, and then we are trying as much as possible to print a lot more copies for the various institutions. A lot were sent to the hotels in Kwahu. A lot were sent to the pubs, the car rentals, travel and tour agencies, and in prior so to ATBA, to Abetifi, and all environment within Kwahu.
What's the next festival, the next big one that's coming up?
Good. The next one is Pan-African Emancipation Day celebrations, and that is where our we appreciate our heritage as a people. It has to do with the slave trade movement. The slave movement that went on. I told you early on that I'm a Pan-Africanist, so I believe in the Pan-African experience, and it has to do also with the fact that we try to connect with our roots. We try to connect with our ancestors for them to, for us to feel part of the history. You know, Marcus Garvey makes a statement that a people without a history probably are not worth dying for, isn't it? Good. If you do not have a history, then you are not existent. So we need to entrench our history as a people. If I say we need to entrench our history as a people, what I mean is this. The Ghana Tourism Authority, during the year of return, one of our main selling point had to do, during the year of return, had to do with our heritage sites. And the year of return was tied to the slave trade movement. So it is one selling point which really gives Ghana it gave Ghana the international recognition out there.
So what's the authority going to do during the Emancipation Day? Is there going to be any surprises for us? Is there anything special? Yes,
usually during the Emancipation Day, what the authority does is that we have visits to Asen Manso, Asen Praso, those river, those places where the slaves were taken to, and then that is where they had their last bath before they were transported outside there. As a matter of fact, during the year of return really is in 1619, about 400 years, when our ancestors were picked up from Jamestown in Accra here to Jamestown in Virginia. Right. So there is Jamestown also in Virginia, in USA. So it connects with the Panafest emancipation thing. So this year we are also trying as much as possible to make it big. Why would we say that we are trying as much as possible to make it big? You know, His Excellency the President has launched Destination Ghana in UK, and it dovetails into the year of return. One has to do with Invest in Ghana, one has to do with Pan-African heritage and innovation. So with that, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to push traffic to Ghana using Destination Ghana and beyond the return. In as much as we are doing that, we are also looking at raking in $2.5 billion into the economy.
Well, this is a great feat, and also the monies are huge. Definitely every Ghanaian is also contributing to the tourism industry through the tourism levy. We'll talk about that right after this break. This is the Lowdown on GhanaWeb TV. We'll be right back. Welcome back from the break. This is the Lowdown on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Ismail Akwe, and our guest is Kofi Atakusi, and you are the Deputy Head of Corporate Affairs at the Ghana Tourism Authority. You've given us so much insight into the tourism industry in Ghana and how it's operating. And I think this is quite an important discussion, because every Ghanaian should be in on it and also be rooting for more people to come into the country, more people to see our heritage and our culture. And if we don't bring it out, people will just tell your story for you.
That's
so
true.
We are telling our own story, and we are bringing in people to see them. But why so? Because at the end of the day, we also go through domestic tourism and we pay for it. So why do you need to pay extra levy for tourism?
Bro, as a matter of fact, what the tourism levy seeks to achieve as part of the National Tourism Development Plan 2013 to 2027, what the authority is doing and has done is to fashion out the tourism development levy. The tourism development levy is charged on the service that the patron seeks to achieve from the tourism establishment. For example, my brother, if you sleep in a hotel, right, it is rather charged on the establishment that will pay to the authority. So the money you give to the money you will give to the hotel, right? The hotel will charge the 1% on that money and remit back to the authority. Okay. Good. You were asking why is it so? Good. As part of the National Tourism Plan, National Tourism Development Plan, and our marketing strategy, and what the authority seeks to achieve is to look at development of our tourist sites and attractions. My brother, as a matter of fact, we the funds have been made available. Okay. And if you speak with the director of the place, Alaji would indicate to you that yes, renovation works has started, and we hope to achieve the best for that park, because it rakes in a lot into the economy. As a matter of fact, Ebri Botanical Gardens is also there. We have Yas Antoine Museum in Ejiso is also there. Menchia Museum are all under the World Bank project, where we are trying as much as possible to be able to renovate, refurbish, and be able to make sure that these tourist sites and attractions are brought to that in global and international standard. So, my brother, if you ask, the tourism levy, it helps in being able to bring our tourism back to fruition. You know, in recent times, most of our activities, and most of it has been from the tourism levy, because it helps us to be able to look at where the loopholes are, and then we are able to clip them appropriately.
So which loopholes were there in the past that now have been sealed? What are like the successes of the tourism authority compared to, let's say, 10 years ago or 15 years ago?
Good, bro. You've asked a very good question. Some of the loopholes, I must say, Tourist Sites and Attractions Regulations, LI 2393, came into force in 2019 in order to be able to, for us to focus more on our tourist sites and attractions, and then packaging of our cultural experiences, packaging of some of the our natural experiences, natural resources, our cultural, societal experiences, and all that. So all these put them to that. We've been able to make sure that they are brought to that. Had the issue there. You do recall
the incident where someone died.
Exactly. That, for instance, it was the Tourism Development Fund that quickly rushed in to be able to salvage the situation. So if you go to Kintampo now, you realize that the place has been kept very well, and that brought to fruition the tourism levy, the tourism levy, the tourism regulations. That is the LI 2393, tourist sites and attractions regulation. So obviously, since we got the tourism levy, it has helped the authority to plan, because of a little bit of funding around, so that we are able to know where we need to put the trucks.
Besides Kakum, we have other canopy walkways in the country. I know there's one in Tema area. There's another around Akosombo and other places. Have they all been certified by the tourism authority?
Most of these places, what it is
helicopter tours. Do you have that yet? No. Is it in the plans?
It's something that would definitely come in the plans. Of course, you know that there is an airport that would happen in the eastern region, and it's to open up the eastern region. So moving on and on, obviously, we are expecting to have such initiatives. And like I said, it is tourism. The engine of the tourism industry mainly has to do with the private sector. It is mainly private sector driven. So we are looking at a time when investment, one of the pillars I can mention as part of the Beyond the Return is invest in Ghana. So we are looking at our indigenous entrepreneurs investing into some of these tours, helicopter tours, and then but you have a personal experience of how
Ghanaians go out. Have a hand in that as well, because so many countries are coming up, and there are some places Ghanaians go and then they are not allowed entry, and some people suffer at certain countries where you might not even expect people to be.
We directly liaise with the Ghana Immigration Service.
Okay. And
what the authority also does is that we, as an authority, we are to, and by the law, as in the Tourism Act, Act 817/2011, passed in 2011, what it mandates us is to market the country out there. So, as an authority, we always undertake international fairs and exhibitions. Recently, personally, I also came from South Africa. It was a wonderful experience because you are able to pool the pull factor. You pool people, you pull tourists, you pull the diasporans into this country, right? It's a way of the authority also trying as much as possible to be able to market ourselves out there. Once we go out there, and our fellow Ghanaians who always go out there, they also engage in a form of marketing, in a form of they always go out there and then they bring clients in here. So it helps us to be able to streamline our activities as an authority.
Qatar or Ghana? Dubai or Ghana? I'm sure this question, if you ask a lot of Ghanaians, they might say, oh, Dubai or Qatar, because they see very beautiful pictures. They see all the lights. They see everything like that. Those in Ghana will tell you the roads are dark, and sometimes the roads, or most of the time, the roads are really bad. Is this something that might change anytime soon?
We are virtually looking at making sure Ghana becomes #1 or the preferred tourist destination in West Africa, and probably even the entire Africa.